Hey everyone, I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm sorry I haven't been on here in such a long time, but I do want to say Happy New Year's to everyone and everything. Today's topic I want to talk about is how I think the fans, I'm talking about the faithful ones, are actual WWE sheep. Yeah, because okay. People made rant videos this week on Raw 25th, and people actually paid tickets to go to the event. And to be honest, I don't know why. I mean, WWE sucks these days. And people are actually like, oh, Raw 25th is going to be good. I can't wait to see all the old legends. It's going to be great. Come on, this is WWE in 2018. How can you not see that it was going to be a disaster? But you know what it does remind me of? It reminds me of 2010's episode of Impact from TNA. You know, January 4th show where they switched to Monday nights and they wanted to go head-to-head with Raw, and it just turned out to be an absolute disaster. That's actually what Raw 25th reminded me of. You know, and people are like still faithful for Raw and SmackDown. Another thing that why I say that they're total sheep, total tools of the WWE is because 2 years ago when they had the draft, the brand split, whatever you want to call it, they came up here and said, SmackDown's better than Raw. SmackDown's better than Raw. It wasn't that better than Raw. It was maybe a little slightly better than Raw. You know, people are overhyped SmackDown. Look at SmackDown now. It's uneventful. It's boring. It's basically almost on the same level as Raw. And another thing, too, about the Raw 25th show, they did a terrible job of, first of all, hyping the Royal Rumble. Number two, they did a terrible job on the 25th anniversary show. This is what they did in the end. The ending sucked. This is what they did in the end. They brought out all the old legends. Then they brought Brock Lesnar. Then they brought out Kane. And then F5 to Kane. And then Braun Strowman came out, dominated again. And then running power slam through the announce table to Brock Lesnar. And then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman stood tall. While I do like Braun Strowman going over, I just think, first of all, one, is that time should have been used for the older legends, you know, to celebrate. And while I do appreciate Braun Strowman going over, which I know he's not going to win the title, they could have at least let the champion and the other challenger get some offense, but they really didn't. It was always Braun Strowman being dominant. Braun Strowman, for the last couple of weeks, Braun Strowman's being dominant. You know, they should have at least let the challenger and the champion get some momentum in, but they didn't do that. And let me not get started on the women's for Raw and SmackDown. They're supposed to set up for the women's Royal Rumble. I call it the women's Unroyal Crumble because that's what it's actually going to be anyway. That's what it's going to be. I was watching NXT's NXT this past week. Well, I was watching the highlights of it, and the build up to that. As a matter of fact, the build up to NXT Takeover Philadelphia is supposed to be tonight, actually. But the build up to NXT Takeover Philadelphia actually did a better job of hyping their pay-per-view than Raw and SmackDown did for the Royal Rumble, which looked very poor. Just like I mentioned before in my other videos about the build-ups and the go-home shows to pay-per-views, it just sucked. They put no effort into building up the pay-per-views. You know, they just have for the women, they just have the same boring either 8-woman tag matches, the same old 6-woman tag matches, the same old tag matches. They have the same women come out. Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Fairy. That's right, I said Fairy because she's an epic fail. To face, what's the name of the group? Shoot, what Paige's group? Let me think for a second. The well, whatever the name is, I'll think of it later. To face them and all the time. And another thing I've noticed is that when they get offense, SmackDown does the same exact thing. Whatever Raw does for the women's division, SmackDown does the next night. Look at, for example, oh, that's the name, Absolution. Whatever Absolution does on Raw, the other ones do it. Yeah, the other ones do it. I forgot. I keep forgetting their names. The other three women on SmackDown does it. If Absolution loses, then the other three lose on SmackDown. If the other three get wins, then the other ones get wins on SmackDown. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just repetitive. It's unoriginal. They give no thought process to it. I just can't believe this. They just repeat the same thing over and over again. This week it was Naomi and someone else on SmackDown, another woman from the other group, and it was just boring. I'm looking more forward to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia than I am the Royal Rumble, because that's how WWE does it. They make it look so uneventful that you just don't look forward to it. That's how they did it, and that's WWE's fault. Vince McMahon believes that he knows what the fans want, that he knows what the people want. Not really, no. And then there's also talks about the XFL coming back in 2 years. The XFL failed once, and I don't think anyone wants to see the XFL again, because I wouldn't be surprised if it tanked. How are you going to make a sports entertainment football company if you can't take care of your own sports entertainment wrestling company? Alright, because your wrestling company is failing, and the fans, they actually are faithful to this. I can't believe people actually bought tickets to see Raw 25. I can't believe people actually did that. Anticipation that, oh, it's gonna be good. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, right. That's probably why some people ask for refunds for their tickets. That's probably why some people ended up leaving, because they couldn't stand what was going on. I can't even believe people actually watched 3 hours of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown. And people are... Oh yeah, that's another reason why I think WWE fans are sheep. Because, first of all, let's go back to John Cena. I was watching, well, the Elias and John Cena, well, fast forwarding it anyway, when I was the highlights. And I actually saw John Cena come out. I was like, oh boy. Same old routine, same old thing, boring. Every time he comes back, he does the same exact thing. People actually like, oh, I love John Cena. I'm so glad he's back. He's gonna make this company great again. Like, what? Shut up. He's not gonna make this company great again. He's been doing the same thing since like 2006. The same exact routine. I used to be a John Cena fan back when he had his Thuganomics gimmick. I liked that gimmick better because he was more entertaining. This one, however, it's like the same routine. I respect you. I respect you. The champ is here. And also, too, I hear that, you know, he also basically kisses up to the fans and says, oh, he does charity and all this other stuff. He basically brags about it. Hey, nobody cares about that. But also, too, I just don't know what to say. I mean, people actually are I mean, I can't knock people's preferences, but their preferences are really dumb. And even GFW sucks. But what meant at Lashley and Moose match was actually good. I think it was for Genesis. It was actually good. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. I don't expect much from the Royal Rumble. And, oh yeah, also for the women's match, Ronda Rousey's supposed to come back, which I don't care. I mean, she's basically irrelevant now. I mean, WWE is just bringing her in. Oh, and that's also another reason why I think the fans, the faithful, loyal fans to WWE are sheep. Because they look at NXT and they say, oh, this person, that person needs to be on the main roster. But guess what? When they go to the main roster, they're going to be misused. Look at all the people that have been misused. Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. They make them look like something in NXT, and then when they go to the main roster, they make them look like nothing. Look at Bobby Roode's debut on SmackDown a few months ago. It reminded me of Chris Jericho's return to WWE that actually fell really flat. That WWE actually ruined. That's exactly what his debut reminds me of. Chris Jericho's debut from 2007, 2008. He was basically the new Chris Jericho. And people also talk about Jinder Mahal like he's actually something. He was a jobber for a while, and then all of a sudden last year they draft him to SmackDown. All of a sudden he's in the main event, and then he becomes champion. They didn't even take time to build this guy up. They just put the title on him. He's basically the new JBL, where they just put the title on him right away, and that's it. His title run was awful. Oh, and that's another thing. People actually put their faith in the awoken Matt Hardy. And he basically lost in like 2-3 minutes to Bray Wyatt. Another guy who's been wasted and misused. You know, and that's another thing too why they're all so cheap. Is because last year they believed that Bray Wyatt's time is now. He only held the title for like 3 weeks and then had to drop it to Randy Orton. Wow. And then the Balor Club, people are saying a year too late. Yeah, it is. They're basically nothing but a poor man's version of the NWO. That's all they really are. Poor man's version. Anybody that likes the Royal, anyone that is actually looking forward, is going to order the Royal Rumble or whatever, you all are fools. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns wins. Whoever, Shinsuke Nakamura wins. I really don't care. I'm looking forward to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. I will talk to you all later. Peace, love, and blessings.